Greetings, guys. Everybody's heard by now about the Venezuelan gangs that have allegedly taken over an apartment building in Colorado. And I saw the footage. I know that certain government sources denied that that was happening. And I think the local law enforcement said that it's no big deal. They got it under control. But somebody leaked a bunch of footage, and I certainly saw with my own eyes uh, heavily armed gang members, literally just walking around freely in the hallways of this apartment complex. And, if what they say is true, these people have taken it over and they're extorting from the innocent, extorting money from the innocent people and blah, blah, blah. My message to you younger folks is, look, I'm 62. I have come to realize that there's many amongst you who never have lived, or at least lived as an adult during the days when uh, government entities actually did take care of the people. I'm not saying that they were perfect, and I'm not saying they did everything right, but you could feel a certain level of safety, or at least you had recourse in your own mind. You had recourse because there were things you could do. You could call the police and they'd show up. Did they always do the right thing? Nobody always does everything right, but for the most part, shit got done, especially when it came to life-threatening type stuff. Now, we all know that in these blue states, criminals run free, they steal what they want, and they do what they want. And as long as you're not a conservative or a Trump supporter, you're safe. And you won't be, it's the two-tier policing that you see going on in the United Kingdom. But my message is, I want to remind those who lived it, and I want to inform those who didn't, that in the scenario that we're talking about with this apartment building and these heavily armed gang members that are here illegally, and no matter what your political views are, there's a way and a method for people to immigrate into the U.S. My wife is an immigrant. It took 10 years for her to do it and become a citizen. 10 years, a lot of hard work. So there's a way to do it. And the fact of the matter is these people are illegal, no matter who they are or where they come from. But we do know that Venezuela emptied its prisons and sent all of its prisoners with these nightmarish military-aged men who have no regard for any law into America. And, the Democrats welcomed them with open arms. Sanctuary cities, no limited law enforcement, if any. And I want to tell you something, man. If this had happened during the 80s or 90s, that's back when I was a Los Angeles police officer. If a call came in that one person was running around the hallway with a gun, that building would have been locked down. If the call came in that there were multiple people walking around with rifles, shotguns, and pistols, the Metropolitan Division, the SWAT team, there would have been such a tidal wave of law enforcement paid for by your tax dollars would have showed up. And no matter what happened when they showed up, uh, by sunrise the next day, there'd be a big fucking crime scene there, yellow tape, and I guarantee you that the blue team would have won that one, even if they took a few losses, because we didn't back down from shit like this, and that's what we were there for, was to be the line between good and evil. Um, Again, not everybody's perfect. No organization has 100% perfect, members. But 99.9% of every cop in those days was in it for the right reasons. And of course, there's the high priority, scandals that happened. And I can tell you why that happened. That all happened because due to various consent decrees and the federal government getting involved, saying that we had to, overlook arrest records and gang activity, and we had to lower the standards for the police department to get certain demographics into the department. And when you lower standards, you get lower standards. So it was no surprise to anybody with two brain cells at the time that we would see shit like the Rampart scandal and all this other crap. I mean, we had cops robbing banks and every other damn thing you can imagine. And these guys all could be traced right back to being members in various, Crips and Bloods gang activity. So, there was a time in this country not that long ago when the Aurora or the Colorado takeover would not have ever happened. The shit going on in New York never would have happened. People walking out of nail salons and saying, fuck you, I ain't paying. People grabbing fucking PS5s and big screens out of stores and just casually walking out. None of that would have happened because they would have got the mighty fist of the blue right in their fucking head. And then they would have got carted off to jail and they would have got prosecuted. And they would have been tried and convicted. So the country has not always been this fucked up, young people. This country's fucked up because somebody has convinced people of voting age that winning the battle is more important than electing the right person as president. So, these very same people who let your country turn to a big shit heap will tell you we can't have a president who grabbed a woman's crotch area or who cusses or is misogynistic. Those things, your feelings are far more important than your safety, according to these people who live behind huge walls and have armed security 24 hours a day and wouldn't be caught dead having to go to the store that you have to go to, yet you keep voting for these fucking people because you buy shit up here without ever thinking, because you don't want your friends to think that you're a weirdo because you thought for yourself and thought, you know what? Trump's an asshole. I don't like the way he talks. But fuck it, he is best for the country, because that's what elections are for. You elect the person that is the best one, the best candidate for your country, not because a bunch of old dried up prunes on The View told you that this guy's Hitler. That's not the way it works in a normal society, but we're not normal anymore, are we? Because how many genders do we have now? I don't fucking know. I don't care. I mean, I know, but I don't know what the stated number is. This is how an abnormal society convinces young people that the abnormal is normal. Nothing new. That's called communism, and that's how they work. They just come in and they fucking turn all that is good into evil and all that is evil into good to destabilize and destroy the family unit, destroy the homes, destroy relationships, destroy the churches, destroy religions, make everybody hate each other so that they can come in and solve the problem by taking over the power. And all the useful idiots that get these people into power are the ones that fucking suffer the most once they're in power. And that's really the only good part of the karma that visits these idiots who refuse to think for themselves. Anyways, my thoughts on the subject. Stay safe.